please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look, at some point, at a video released by Lynn Chansey. I have one time only covered Lynn Chansey on this channel, and I say one time only because I thought it was more than that. It's possible I have, but titled it differently, and I cannot remember, but as I said in the first video I know I've definitively done on Lynn, she's the type of creator I like to cover, because it's not equality that many body-positive folk seek. It is preferential treatment, sometimes dubbed more equality, usually at the cost of another person or company. In the case of Lynn, the preferential treatment that Lynn seeks encompasses air travel, hotels, and other activities that she is otherwise not allowed to participate in because of her rather large girth. In the case of hotels, it's reinforced beds. Hotel activities would undoubtedly include swimming, maybe a bench next to the pool, or a coffin. In the case of air travel, it's seats big enough for Lynn to use, and somewhere to safely store the oxygen tank, or to be pushed around, because that's another thing many would seek to have, because they believe that flying is a human right. People can debate that in the comments if you like, but I know that there's a resounding perspective amongst those who are not a fan of fat acceptance that flying is not a human right. And no, I am neither agreeing nor disagreeing, because I can't be arsed with the unnecessarily pedantic fans I have. Hi, you know who you are, don't bother. To give you greater context as to who Lynn is, I'm going to play bits of the first and only video I know I've done on Lynn. And then we're going to respond to the more recent video about Ozempic, because that's a thing, and we've discussed that with Amberlynn Reid a few times. On June the 14th, 2023, Ravenstar had tweeted, no, again this J-woman does not comprehend how airplanes work. She also doesn't get that cause she has let herself get to a super morbidly obese size doesn't mean the world and everyone in it has to accommodate her. How about no? I love doing that voice. I know it annoys some people. I'm never stopping. Get used to it. The images included have Lynn Chaney. You know what? I don't care. New York Post article from then. Plus-size influencer Lynn Chaney rips plane seats policies after demanding other flyers pay for extra seat. Now she is an influencer. I know, this is a thing. She has 95,000 followers on Instagram, and she champions herself as a plus-size travel, fashion and lifestyle influencer. She empowers people of all sizes and abilities, and her words are featured in Allure, Travel Leisure, CNN and Insider. How exciting. I am so not remotely proud of you. Her business is more commonly known as J-Bay Productions, because Productions has to be in everything, doesn't it? It makes it seem more official, like Limited, and like every indie band putting the before their name. The ones from the noughties more notable. Earlier in April, Lynn had started a change.org petition. Here it is, by the way. The petition is titled Demand for the FAA to Protect Plus-Size Travelers. Hashtag Body Equality in Travel. It had 35,414 signatures. There was even a video in the petition under Supporter Voices. I'm not going to play that because I don't want to throw that particular individual under the bus. But why the petition matters, Lynn provides some answers. For example, the FAA should mandate that all airlines have a comprehensive customer of size policy that prioritizes the comfort and well-being of all passengers. Provide additional accessible seats to accommodate for all sizes. Reimbursements for customers of size who purchase additional seats independently. Clear communication. They must create policies, standards and procedures for customers of size and communicate them in clear, accessible and easy to understand ways. Basically, use voice to communicate because apparently some are illiterate. Accommodations need to be made to ensure that customers of size can receive the necessary support they need. Forklift, basically. Employee training to help accommodate for customers of size. This term sucks ass, by the way. And as petitioners, we are also calling on the FAA to mandate that all new airplanes must have at least one wheelchair accessible toilet. Now, I tend to agree that if they only have one,
perhaps consider a second, just because it would make things a bit more simpler for those who are disabled. I would not put those who are super morbidly obese on par with that, but I know that they would struggle to get into certain toilets that are for the able-bodied, where those cubicles are quite small. Jaylin did go on to concede that if her demands were met, that plane tickets for all customers would increase due to demand. Quote, "It is difficult to provide a one-size-fits-all answer to the question of who will pay for the policies mentioned in the petition," she told that to Fox News. However, what is clear is that the mistreatment and discrimination of plus-size travelers is unacceptable and must be addressed. Implementing policies to accommodate plus-size passengers may come with associated costs, but these costs must be weighed against the benefits of creating a more welcoming and inclusive travel experience. How about no? You are so big, you require 2 seats. Therefore, you pay for 2 seats. If they made planes so that accommodated for people your size on a more regular basis, they would be using half as many seats on the flight. I'll be honest, at that point, you may as well stand on top of a hill and roll yourself there in a Zorb for safety. It would be cheaper. And I'll be honest, planes are privately owned. They shouldn't have to accommodate for you in the slightest. They want to maximize their profits. I do not support the idea of treating this as customers of size and a form of discrimination and/or oppression. You have made a conscientious choice to be the size that you are. You consider yourself a plus-size travel, fashion and lifestyle influencer. Well, you're plus size. That plus needs to be turned slightly to the side in the form of 45 degrees, and then you need to add additional pluses also turned 45 degrees to the side to it. Okay? This is not something that should be treated positively in the slightest. I am never going to change my position on this. As you're based in Canada, Vancouver more importantly, I thought I'd just remind you that the obesity rate in your country is 27.2%. In the world, some of the highest death rates are caused by heart disease and respiratory failure, much of which can be attributed and exacerbated by obesity. That is not something I want to champion. It really isn't. Now that was what had happened back in June. We're now going to skip ahead to October, more present, recent news, right? Because now we get to talk about what she has been doing recently to continue to champion the plus-size customer of size nonsense. Future Meg here. I noticed something in the New York Post article that I should have included in this little part. Canadian air passenger rights advocate Gabor Lukacs told CNN he considers the practice of charging large passengers for 2 seats a human rights issue, being quoted as saying, "Being a large-sized person is not a choice as many people mistakenly believe. There is unfortunately a lot of negative attention and prejudice against plus-sized people. It's not as if someone is getting up in the morning and making a decision that they're going to be a large person, so through that lens of human rights, I don't see any justification for charging these people a double fare. When you're stupid, creates a form of tunnel vision, and you cannot for a moment fathom that actually a lot of it is a choice, and you are just asserting something because you are so desperate to not be proven wrong." But go figure, you told CNN that. According to the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development, the NICHD, on a page titled "What Causes Obesity and Overweight?", for example, health conditions, stress, emotional factors, poor sleep, genetics. Some people, for example, are more susceptible to gain weight because of their genetics. My family are renowned for it, in fact. Environmental, not having access to parks, sidewalks, oversized food portions. That one got a smaller mention, but okay. Food and activity, though, is very much first. I wonder why. So continuing with the list of complaints, we go to the Daily Mail on the 2nd of October 2023 in an article titled "Plus-Size Travel Influencer Who Demanded Other Passengers Pay for Obese Flyers Extra Seats Now Calls on Hotels to Enlarge Hallways to Help Fat Guests." Jaylin Cheney, a travel and lifestyle creator based in Vancouver, said her aim is to make the travel industry a more accepting place for all, and demanded changes to hotels to accommodate bigger vacationers. In a more recent video, she referenced multiple demands specifically for hotels across the world, including make elevators and hallways spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices. Now for this, I thankfully found the video. I thought it was on her Instagram, turns out no, she also has a YouTube, a TikTok. She's actually very present in a lot of different places. On TikTok she has over 134,000 followers, which means she's still a nobody. On YouTube she has over 50,000 subscribers, but hasn't uploaded there in 2 months and doesn't really upload that often even when she did. But much like me with 118,000 subscribers, she's equally a nobody on there as well. The video that this quote from the article comes from is from TikTok, where she is vastly more active, much like Instagram. So that is where we're going to go next.
I'm on a mission to revolutionize the travel industry and make it a more accessible, accepting, accommodating place for all.
I feel like plus size can be argued to be a form of positive reinforcement for the individual, but reality is plus size accommodates for so many different people of differing sizes, yet those that champion it and are seen to be more vocal of it are of the more extreme end of what is considered plus size. Additionally, plus size typically, based on some definitions, goes up to size 18, which in UK size is a XXL. Do you not think that might be, in your case, when you champion plus size as what you identify as a form of false advertising? I know that sounds harsh, but it's not intended as such.
The needs of plus-size travelers matter just as much as anybody else, and today I'm going to cover what we are looking for in accessible, size-inclusive hotel amenities. Size-inclusive hotel amenities are crucial for ensuring that plus-size travelers feel welcomed, accommodated, and comfortable during their stay.
I'm not going to be a dick, I swear down. I'm really not. But I am struggling to hear what you say because something is stifling, muffling your voice. I don't know if it's your typical speech pattern, because this is the very first video of yours I've ever seen, but I think you've made a list of demands that perhaps hotels and other places should incorporate to accommodate for plus-sized travelers. I don't think they should do it at all, because hotels also need to make money, and to be in the hotel business, you don't make much money. Accommodating for plus-size travelers by providing a form of preferential treatment won't increase their profit margin. It just introduces more potential for lawsuits.
We deserve an environment that respects our needs and body diversity. These are the exact steps that hotels can take to be more size-inclusive and accessible for travelers of all sizes. Number 1 on the list, provide sturdy, wider chairs without armrests.
The point of an armrest on a chair is so you can rest your arm but also aid you in getting up. If you get a sturdier, wider chair with no armrest, your ability to get up is still compromised, especially if you are less sturdy but wider. Sturdier, wider chairs cost a lot more money to make. Hotels aren't going to invest that kind of money. Chairs should maintain a level of consistent size. They really should, because again, to accommodate for bigger sizes, yes, it does cost more to ensure its reinforcement is sound. I know people who weigh another 50 pounds more than what I weigh, and they will flump onto something that could actually hold their weight, but it will crack because of the impact. So they have to account for even more size to be certain of its safety, but then also the shock impact. I don't think they're going to spend the money putting suspensions into furniture.
Number 2 on the list, ensure beds with strong support and a higher weight capacity, along with providing reinforced chairs and wider bathroom facilities.
The only hotels I've ever stayed in are Premier Inns, and I don't really sleep, to be honest. Well, I do, but it's more like medically induced, because I just can't naturally sleep. The beds are meh to me, because I don't really care about hotels that much. The point of a hotel is not to treat it like an extension of your home. It's somewhere you stay while you go and do holiday things, right? Or go to gigs in my case. An average bed can take anywhere up to £250. That is for the average person, not for the super morbidly obese that makes up 27% of Canada. No. So they're going to hotels especially accommodate for the bigger percentage, not the bigger people. The same will apply to other countries. You may think that by having bigger weight capacity beds that more people of your size are going to go there. Actually, no. It's an investment, but those beds will have to be changed on a regular basis, much like the mattresses, which is an expense they cannot waste money on. Therefore, they're not going to do this, no matter how much you beg for it.
Number 3, make elevators and hallways spacious, to allow for easy movement of larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices.
To do that would mean to invest, again, a large amount of money, and to lose money on space that could otherwise be used on a room. I can't imagine many budget hotels especially are going to want to do that. They're going to want to offer the service of an elevator and limit the amount of people who can go into it at any one point, either by weight or by numbers. You're expecting a lot of investment here, under the guise of inclusivity. Have you ever heard of the term go woke, go broke, or get woke, go broke? This feels like it's a part of it.
Number 4, install grab bars in showers and near toilets. Offer adjustable handheld shower heads and raised toilet seats for added accessibility.
The handrails I can agree with, because when drunk, you need one. But, depending on the layout of the hotel, will depend on whether or not that can be installed in enough rooms to accommodate for people who require them. You requested adjustable shower heads because you need to be able to get into every nook and cranny, and there's a rhyme for that, but I'm not going to say it. And as far as the toilet seat being raised in height, no should be the answer to that. The seat is based on an average height of the legs. You are not taller, so the seat shouldn't be raised. I think what you mean to say is the base in the bowl should be wider to account for the fact that the body is carrying a bit of weight on the muffin top hip area. I'm being charitable with that. There are other words I wanted to use.
Number 5, train staff to be respectful, understanding, and accommodating to travelers of all sizes.
I'll be honest, employees being told to treat all customers with any level of respect is a given, really. But since a lot of the hotels I've been to have self-check-in, you don't really see much in the way of staff these days unless they're a greeter.
Number 6, provide pool lifts and handrails at the entry of the pool. This will allow for plus-size guests and guests with different abilities to enjoy all amenities.
I thought a lot of pools had handrails anyway. I could be wrong with this. I don't really do the whole swimming thing. Large bodies of water and I don't get on very well. A bit ironic, I know, but still. If it is something that should be included, that's probably one that I would agree on for the safety of anyone that gets into the pool. Last thing you want to do is call emergency services and a crane to remove someone who can't get out of it.
Number 7, hotel restaurants should have roomy seating options and sturdy chairs, ensuring that everybody can dine comfortably. Number 8, offer larger beach and pool seating. Provide oversized loungers and seating at the beach and pool areas, allowing travelers of all sizes and abilities to be comfortable.
Right, so I put these two together because the first one I actually didn't care about in the slightest. The second one, I've seen a lot of videos of people at hotels rushing to get the best seats. I can imagine if they accommodated for people of your size and beyond, those seats would be the ones picked first by smaller people. And since others are less than willing to give up those prime seats, it is unlikely you'd be accounted for or accommodated for unless they intentionally created a segregated zone for what you dub plus size that the rest of us dub a joke area.
Number 9, hotels should provide size-inclusive bathrobes. These should go up to a size 6X and beyond. And hotels should also provide bath sheets or plus-size friendly towels so that travelers of all sizes and abilities can use them comfortably.
You are putting a remarkable amount of financial pressure on hotels to account for plus-sized guests in all walks of travelling, because while you have gone out of your way to make it so that travelling is more difficult for yourself, you seek to make it seem like you haven't made this choice. This is just who you are and you've accepted and settled it, so everyone else must get on board with that message and provide for you. I don't agree with that. I really don't, and I don't think in this they should go the extra mile in this context of providing so much extra that will cost them so much more to do, although they could just get a couple towels and sew them together, I guess. But making the bathrooms bigger, I guess it depends on how much you're paying for the hotel really, but even the hotels that cost more aren't going to accommodate for your size as much as you would want them to.
And last but not least, this is an important one. Display clear and accurate information on these amenities on hotel websites. Include weight limits, seat dimensions, and things like that. And include information on the size-inclusive amenities available. This will help plus-size travelers make informed decisions.
Oddly enough, I can agree with this as well, because then there'll be less complaints when the options available for you to use as hotels diminish even further, and then I get to watch even more arguments and anger and outrage that hotels are weight shaming, fat shaming, not being inclusive enough to have so many reinforced beds, chairs without arms, which I think is really dumb, by the way, and all other related facilities that require plus size accommodations. Yes, I look forward to that. I think that would be a fantastic way of providing me with extra content. Maybe it'll get me views as well for a change. Don't get that very often, so it'll always be nice and welcome.
By implementing these size-inclusive hotel amenities, hotels can become more inclusive and accommodating.
I may have just played the entire video because I thought, well, it's a year old. You know what? Some residual views? I don't know. Recently, a video of theirs came to light concerning Ozempic. Now, I have very strong views about Ozempic and semaglutide. There are some that need it. Definitively, yes. There are others who use it as what I've dubbed a cheat code. If you use it to aid in weight loss because you can't be asked to do it properly, it is a cheat code. Count your calories and go to the sodding gym. It's not overly complicated. Once you get into a routine, it takes about 21 days to do so, you will discover that you will absolutely smash it at a rate that is suitable for you. Not everything is about weight just simply sloughing off your body. You have to do it at a rate that is reasonable and, reduces the chances of a relapse. So what does Jalen have to say about Ozempic?
We need to have a conversation about Ozempic. It was originally developed to manage diabetes, but has since become a go-to solution for intentional weight loss.
This is correct, and I do not support it being used for weight loss at all. Unless a medical necessity that I'm unaware of, I can think of no valid reason to cheat. I have many people in my live stream chats on Moistly Live when I do research streams on Amber Lynn, because she did semaglutide, and I called it a cheat code and it riled up a few people the wrong way. I'm going to stand by what I said, because in the context of Amber Lynn Reid, she used it as a cheat code and she barely lost any weight. She's over 550 pounds at time of recording. She's getting bigger. She quit semaglutide for the second time. Semaglutide, for those who don't know, is an Ozempic ripoff. She's been on Ozempic essentially twice and failed. If you are using it as a way to get your body to naturally go down, you could make an argument that it's there to help you. But let's face it here, it is needed for those with diabetes. It is not needed for those who want to lose weight. Do it properly, and the long-term benefits will be on your side, and I mean the ones that are in your head as well. If that offends you, that I think that way, you're on the wrong YouTube channel. You should definitely not go to a Megon 2. I'm a little bit more callous there.
It's been fueled by aggressive marketing campaigns and celebrity endorsements.
This is also true. Not in my country so much, but in America I've seen the ads and I've seen many celebrities feature in the news who have used Ozempic to lose a lot of weight in a very short space of time. The thing with many of those people is they are yo-yo dieters. The majority of them have gone up and down throughout their career. To see them at a lower weight is better for them. Of course, their brand. They could be an endorsement, an ambassador. Not like Jared Fogle, though, that's the wrong kind of endorsement. The point is, and it's an important one, Jaylin is, in this instance, correct.
If you or someone you care about is experiencing severe side effects after taking Ozempic, like severe vomiting, you might be entitled to financial compensation.
Unless I'm mistaken, you are put through rigorous tests, and I know this because of Amber Lynn Reid. You are put through certain exams and tests to make sure you qualify to be able to take something like Ozempic, and it's quite expensive. And by quite expensive, I mean really expensive. When the likes of Amber Lynn Reid was taking semaglutide, she had to speak to a doctor on a regular basis to make sure her dosage was correct. She was allowed to do it herself if she got her mother to do it, because she couldn't reach the spot where it goes in anyway. But I do know, because my Google Foo is pretty good, generally you are not to be permitted access to Ozempic as a weight loss treatment, but it can be used off-label for weight loss if a doctor believes it will work well for you. Side effects are known for all medications. Sometimes you have to weather that storm. And I mention Amber Lynn because she had side effects as well. She had to weather it, and then once she got beyond it, she was fine. But as you're American, or Canadian, one of those two, I think you're American, it's not surprising you would mention a lawsuit, because that's very much an American tradition. In fact, if you have anything in your culture that's unique to you, it's the ability to lawsuit anyone for anything.
There are now hundreds of lawsuits against brands like Ozempic. I've teamed up with Allied Law, a company dedicated to advocating for those who are affected by harmful medications like Ozempic. Taking legal action against brands like Ozempic is now more simple than ever.
Now that was why I wanted to make the video, this video that is, because now I'm pondering whether or not your motivation is to help them get compensation, or to stop them who are on Ozempic or semaglutide or any of the other variants from losing weight. Because we have seen within body positivity and fat acceptance movements, whenever someone goes on a weight loss journey and succeeds at it, they are chastised, they are excommunicated, and a fatwa is issued on their head, compelling them to eat at least 1,000 pounds of lard within 24 hours. As punishment, of course. Because of that, and because of the content I've made over the years seeing this happen, I am forced to ponder your motivations for linking up with this law lol firm, right? I have to. And I should also point out that while Jaylin is an influencer, a vlogger extraordinaire type for body positivity and fat acceptance, I can promise you, many companies have hundreds of lawsuits against them at any one time. There aren't many exceptions. That's not a joke either, by the way. So saying there are hundreds of lawsuits against Ozempic and others like them really means absolutely sod all, because in the mainstream conversation, nothing is being said, which tells you this is a splash of water in an ocean of business.
Whether you've experienced adverse effects after taking Ozempic or know somebody who has, you can join the fight for justice.
Again, I have to mention Amber Lynn Reid, because on semaglutide she was ill, she rode it out, she spoke to a doctor, got medical advice, they changed the dosage. I think they increased it actually, because it wasn't working as well for her at the recommended dosage for the typical muggle on a weight loss journey. While I would always urge caution when it comes to taking cheat codes, I would recommend consulting your doctor at every available opportunity. Whenever you feel an adverse effect, please make sure you have consumed all relevant information pertaining to the drug you are taking, and for the reason you are taking it. Understand there are always going to be negatives. There are very few that have no adverse effects, and the individual body is always going to react differently compared to a wider scope and scale. Additionally, don't take it as a weight loss thing because you're cheating. Do it properly. Go to the gym. The confidence you get from going, I promise you, will change your life. And just because I'm that guy, count your calories.
If you want to take legal action now, all you have to do is complete the form in my bio. It's super short and easy. Or you can comment Ozempic down in the comments below and I'll send you the link.
I promise you, the zing is about to be dropped and it confirms my belief. I'm so happy. I love that you're recommending all this and you're so proactive in keeping people fat. It's an interesting position to hold. You were right at the start and you veered right off at the end. I love this for you.
Don't allow societal pressures for rapid weight loss to jeopardize your well-being. Together, let's hold brands like Ozempic accountable for the harm they're causing. Take a stand today with Allied Law.
Okay, so on the face of it, the first sentence, without any other context, is 100% okay. It really is. However, in the context of this video and what we know of Jaylynn, it's 100% propaganda and misleading. It's fake news. It's done solely because she wants to keep everyone where they are. You as an individual can be, and you choose to be, freedom to choose. You can be whatever you want. Generally, I want to be the best version of me I could ever be, which is why I'm reflection perfection, of course. Hence no avatar. You know what I mean, right? Others don't share that view, and that's totally fine. But those who seek a shortcut to that reflection perfection invariably find that once they stop taking that cheat code, they will go back to where they belong because they need to do it properly. If you can only ever cheat your way to success, you are not thinking of long-term solutions. You're thinking of a short-term solution and you're treating it as a short-term problem. The mentality is key here, and you have to have the right mind and willingness, the drive, to be that best version of you. I don't think people should be taking Ozempic or semaglutide to cheat their way to a thinner body. And we know definitively it doesn't always work. Emblem Reed has failed at least twice now. People like Jaylynn have a chance to actually make some meaningful impact in this realm, in this space of the internet. They really do. But not when it comes to pushing for lawsuits, because she's the wrong person to champion it. It needs to come from somebody who's been on Ozempic. And with much of the content Jaylynn has pushed out, if Jaylynn's been on Ozempic, I'd be very surprised.